bin Salman to recognize Israel? Relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel have always been fragile, shaped by decades of religious, political, and regional tension. Saudi Arabia, as the custodian of Islam's two holiest sites, has long supported the Palestinian cause and refused to officially recognize Israel. However, the dynamics began to shift when Donald Trump brokered the Abraham Accords in 2020, normalizing Israel's relations with the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan. Trump now wants to add Saudi Arabia, the most influential Arab nation, to that list. And the question is, can he convince Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman to take that historic step? During a major investment forum in Riyadh in May, Trump declared, "It's my fervent hope, wish, and even my dream that Saudi Arabia will soon be joining the Abraham Accords." His words reflected ambition, the drive to secure what could become the most significant diplomatic breakthrough in the modern Middle East. Asked whether MBS's condition of a two-state solution for Palestine would be an obstacle, Trump replied confidently, "No, I think he will join. I don't know if it's going to be two-state. That's up to Israel and other people and me as well." His characteristic confidence, his pressure, his persuasion, all are visible once again. Reports from U.S. media even suggest that his team is exploring the possibility of advancing an understanding without direct Israeli approval, something unimaginable just a few years ago. For Trump, the stakes are massive. If he manages to secure Saudi recognition of Israel, it would cement his image as a master negotiator and reassert U.S. influence in a region where China and Russia are now competing for power. Such a deal would reshape the Middle East political map, replacing old hostilities with shared security and economic partnerships. But Mohammed bin Salman has been careful, very careful. Despite Trump's optimism, MBS has said again and again that Saudi Arabia will not recognize Israel until there is progress toward an independent Palestinian state. The kingdom will not stop its tireless work toward the establishment of an independent Palestinian state, he said in 2024. We affirm that the kingdom will not establish diplomatic relations with Israel without that. In another interview, MBS hinted that every day we are getting closer, yet he emphasized that any agreement must protect Palestinian rights and clarify the status of East Jerusalem. This careful balance shows Saudi Arabia's dual role, modernizing its economy under Vision 2030 while protecting its religious and moral legitimacy as the heart of the Muslim world. The 2002 Arab Peace Initiative, first proposed by Saudi Arabia itself, still defines its policy: no recognition of Israel until Palestine achieves full statehood.
This makes Mohammed bin Salman's path far more complex than that of smaller Gulf states that normalize ties under U.S. influence. Several key obstacles stand in Trump's way. The first is the Palestinian issue itself. For Riyadh, abandoning Palestine would risk public outrage across the Arab and Muslim world. The recent war in Gaza has further hardened regional opinion against Israel, making normalization politically risky. Secondly, the kingdom faces internal sensitivities. The Saudi monarchy's legitimacy relies on religious support, and a move toward Israel could anger conservative clerics and citizens who view such recognition as betrayal. Regionally, the equation is equally difficult. Saudi Arabia only recently restored diplomatic ties with Iran in a deal brokered by China. Moving closer to Israel could upset that fragile balance and draw the kingdom into deeper regional competition. Additionally, while Trump's high-pressure diplomacy worked with smaller nations, Saudi Arabia is not easily swayed. It views itself as a global power, not a client state, and expects equal treatment in any negotiation. Nevertheless, the potential benefits of normalization are undeniable. Recognition of Israel by Saudi Arabia would effectively mark the end of the Arab-Israeli conflict as it has existed for decades. It would open doors to a U.S.-backed regional defense alliance against Iran, expand economic cooperation, and strengthen Vision 2030 by allowing Israeli technology to enter Saudi markets. It could even, paradoxically, give Riyadh greater leverage over Israel in pushing for Palestinian concessions. Diplomatic analysts suggest several possible frameworks for a Saudi-Israeli agreement. One scenario involves gradual recognition allowing trade and overflights, or limited diplomatic exchanges without a formal treaty. Another involves conditional recognition, where Riyadh would recognize Israel only after it halts settlement expansion or reopens talks with the Palestinian Authority. Trump could also offer a powerful incentive, a U.S.-Saudi defense agreement that includes advanced fighter jets, missile defense systems, and nuclear cooperation, a regional trade corridor linking India, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Israel could also sweeten the deal. Trump's approach differs sharply from that of the Biden administration, which linked normalization to Palestinian rights and human rights conditions. Trump, in contrast, favors a purely transactional strategy, economic and strategic benefits, without moral constraints. This pragmatic method appeals to Mohammed bin Salman's own reformist instincts, but still collides with religious and public opinion in Saudi Arabia. Public sentiment remains a major barrier. Surveys and social media reactions in the kingdom show deep hostility toward Israel, especially after the Gaza conflict. Yet MBS has demonstrated his willingness to challenge tradition when necessary. His social reforms, lifting restrictions on women, opening entertainment venues, and curbing clerical power, prove he is not afraid of controversy if it advances his national vision. If he concludes that normalization serves Saudi interests, he might take the step, but only when timing and optics favor him. Evaluating Trump's chances requires balancing optimism with realism. On one hand, Trump and MBS enjoy a strong personal rapport from their previous interactions. They share goals such as countering Iran, attracting investment, and strengthening defense ties. On the other hand, Saudi Arabia has new partners in China and Russia, giving it more leverage to resist U.S. pressure. Public anger over Israeli actions makes any overt move toward recognition politically dangerous, and MBS knows he must protect his domestic credibility as much as his international ambitions. Experts predict three possible outcomes over the next decade. In the short term, there could be limited cooperation, quiet intelligence sharing, diplomatic meetings, or participation in regional summits. In the medium term, conditional recognition may emerge if the Palestinian issue cools and Israel shows minimal flexibility. Full diplomatic recognition could occur later, possibly within 5 to 10 years, if both sides find a formula that serves their interests and provides Saudi Arabia with tangible benefits, including defense guarantees and economic incentives. For Trump, achieving even partial progress would be a significant victory. For MBS, it would be a calculated risk. The Crown Prince's ultimate decision will rest not on pressure from Washington, but on whether normalization aligns with Saudi Arabia's long-term strategy and global standing. In conclusion, Trump may move Saudi Arabia closer than ever to recognizing Israel, but a full breakthrough remains uncertain. The Crown Prince is unlikely to abandon the Palestinian issue entirely, though he may seek a compromise that preserves Saudi leadership in the Muslim world while advancing national modernization goals. If recognition happens, it will not be sudden or emotional. It will be pragmatic, conditional, and carefully timed. Trump may ignite the spark, but it will be Mohammed bin Salman who decides when and how the flame is allowed to burn.